Hi, I'm Kat, and with me is Jeffrey, like always, and you're watching the Green Pill podcast. And today we're talking about age gap relationships. And because of that, we have with us a special and very handsome guest. Alex, say hi to the nice people.
Hello.
You want to explain yourself and what you're doing here and why this is a important topic for you?
I happen to be in a relationship with someone significantly older than myself, a certain someone who
Some
might
jerk.
be talking to me in this very moment.
My boyfriend, y'all, okay?
Um, so yeah, and I'm happy
Well, we're
to
very
be here.
excited to have you here, Alex. I mean, that this was actually, we were both looking forward to having you because we know you can speak to this topic quite well. And I personally can speak to it too, because I was in a very long-term relationship with someone significantly older than me, and we're still friends. We still get along, even if it's not a current relationship, because these things do work. And it was a very long time that I had that relationship, and I have no regrets for it. It was a very nice relationship.
I mean, every time you hear about, in the media or whatever, every time you hear about, oh, a May December romance or whatever, it's always, something skeezy.
No.
It's always, Leonardo DiCaprio dating some 22-year-old, or it's it's something that we don't dig. It's something that's kind of that people go, ew, and why?
Yeah.
It just, I don't know. Sometimes it's not ew, and that's what
Right.
we wanted to talk about.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I mean, it's easy to sensationalize anything that's not uh, that doesn't conform to. There's always a standard practice for any. Just by virtue of statistics, something is always going to be the most common way of doing whatever, and anything that's an outlier it's going to be easier to sensationalize. And yeah, and especially with celebrity relationships and that sort of thing, yeah, you fall into these patterns, and it's often portrayed in sometimes in a salacious manner, or and a lot of it, I think, because there are more, it's more common than people think of it being. um and I think I mean, just as far as, since we started off on the foot of celebrity relationships, there are a lot of cases of couples where it's just not high profile, um or one party is not high profile. Hugh Jackman and Deborah Lee Furness, I think was her name, who is not, a big name or anything, but but is significantly older than him, doesn't get as much attention because, and it's sort of, I think there's a slightly a self-reinforcing thing as far as just in celebrity relationships generally, of sensationalizing or scandal, because it's one of those, if there's drama it will get more attention, and so and so by nature of the thing, you know healthy, low key, just working relationships tend to get less attention, yeah, unless they're both huge name stars, maybe.
And
um
look, Patrick Stewart's 40 years older than his wife, and nobody cares. And
Yeah.
that's
yeah,
possible because it's Patrick Stewart.
Ex-
And he
and
just
it's
gets
and
cast
it's
because he's wonderful. But there's
and
also, there's that stigma of man leaves wife of common age and for secretary, half, you know what I mean?
Right.
And there's that, and there's that common situation. And then there's also the stigma of cougar hitting on the pool boy.
Right.
So there's
Right.
also that. And
There's
go ahead.
Hmm.
I don't want to make it sound
Yeah.
like there's only ick in one direction.
We want to hear what you have to say.
right. Well, it definitely. No, and see now I had a thing, and then I got away. Yeah,
Right.
there's stereotypes that get
Mm,
associated with these things, especially the idea that, if somebody's attracted to someone much older than them, it's because of mommy or daddy issues, or if it's in the other direction, that it's a midlife crisis thing, or it's some, oh, but I want to be young again, and I'm, afraid to be, my age and with some, like there's these negative things. And it all really just comes down to just who are you compatible with?
exactly.
There's a lot of, obviously, being the same generation as someone is going to give you things in common. I mean, I think that's sort of, that's just sort of how it shakes out, but it's not the end all be all.
Right.
um and especially if, which I think is, increasingly, or I suppose decreasingly relevant, the conventional family structure of, okay, you get married, you have kids, sort of this form that encourages you to partner up with someone your age, just for that,
Mm.
for the having kids and for having a uniform life structure. But yeah, I think the more we can sort of let go of that, which has been happening, yeah, the more we can see it's just about individual compatibility.
Absolutely. There are things that we can see in other people that may be rare in the people that are our age, that we are looking for, and we might find in someone who's a different age. There's nothing wrong with that. Just as some people find someone who maybe not be born in the United States, that most of our audience is, that they're maybe finding someone who is French and they just get along with the French person because that person gels better than anyone else. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Also, it bears mentioning that when he and I got together, I was told by my doctor, like literally my doctor, that biologically and anthropologically speaking, this age arrangement was actually a good idea.
Hmm.
When you consider where people's sex drives are set,
Mhm.
it's way more compatible that way,
Mhm.
and life experience and matriarchies are better and all that kind of jazz. He's not interested in having his own kids, and I already have one,
Mhm.
and it's just it's just better. So
Yeah,
this was lauded by my doctor.
right.
So there's that.
And if I and I think there's something to, as long as I wasn't uh dead set on fathering my biological children or whatever, if I had wanted to be a father to adopt, I mean, obviously you told me that you would be, that you would be happy to do that, that would be fine with you. And that would not be, it would really, you have experience in it. You would benefit from having already been a mother. That would have been beneficial, really, to.
We had that conversation. I mean, I have an aunt who was married to a younger man for many years, and then he turned whatever age he turned and decided he wanted to have kids, and he dumped her and left her high and dry. And so I said to Alex when we were, first dating, I said, look, if you ever decide strangely that you wish to biologically reproduce, and it's not a question of, donating or something, if you decide that this is a thing you want, do me a favor, don't just dump me. Let's have a conversation and see if there's
conversation.
let's see if there's a workaround.
There are
Right.
many ways of working around. Please don't ruin a
As
relationship
far as I'm
over something
concerned,
like
that's a
this.
stupid reason to end a relationship if you're really happy with the person. Because
Absolutely.
then it's just about male ego and needing to see your seed it's
Yeah.
dumb. There's surrogacy, there's,
Mhm.
there's we live in a world of science and you can do things.
Yeah.
So if you're really happy with someone, the fact that the baby making factory is closed should really not be the be all end all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's just dumb.
Well said.
Advances in I mean, advances in science, it makes it, that's just sounds weird, but like in the world, in science, in our culture, these are things that I think just in the broadest sense of things should allow us, should free us to think of our lives in different ways. And I think in including in relationships. So yeah, I think it really is so much for me about personal compatibility, and not even just what things do we have in common, but what things don't we have in like what things can we get from each other, that you know having the right things that are different and the right things that are similar, which is certainly what I found.
Find your person, age is just a number.
Yeah,
That's it. That's all it
That's
is.
really how it works.
yeah.
Thanks for watching.